O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of our wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that stage. So, that is the thing. And good evening to all my brothers and sisters in this world. Today, I would like to read one of the divine messages of Rev.Babuji Maharaj, and that will give a lot of enrichment and enlightenment in your spiritual pursuit. Let us go to the subject matter. Before reading the Babuji's message, I'd like to tell one or two stories and then go for it. Once there was two friends. They are, one is cricket having three legs. Cricket, that creature, had only three legs. And another one, that is a worm that has 100 legs. Both were fast friends. So one day evening, both were going, cricket and the worm, going on a evening walk. Suddenly, the cricket, which has three legs, he asked the worm, "My dear friend, I have got a small doubt. So, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you a question." This worm said, "Okay, friend, whatever question you want, you put me. There's no objection from my side." So, immediately the cricket, he asked the worm, "Friend, my dear friend, I have only three legs, but you have 100 legs. And the wonder is, with three legs, I am running fast, I am walking faster. Whereas with 100 legs, you are walking slowly. Why? Why is that?" Immediately, the worm start thinking seriously. What is this? I have 100 legs and I should go very faster, very speed than my friend. But why I am going slow? Thinking like that, it stopped there. It did not move. So the reason is, doubt is poison to the mind. That is what Babuji said. So when doubt entered into that worm's mind, it stopped there. So doubt is, one should not get always get doubts. So next one, which were goodness, I will read one poem, that of the Saint Kabir. That is, you see, Saint Kabir is finally telling in this poem our human beings' psychology and human beings, what is called uh, the drawbacks, in a very nice way. Let me read. You will definitely appreciate the poem. Saint Kabir said, "Tell me, brother, how can I renounce Maya?" See, How can we renounce Maya? Just illusion we can renounce just by telling, go away. Will it go? No. So that is the question. When I gave up the tying of ribbons, still I tied my garment about me. So the ribbons, we are tied with the ribbons to this bondage of life. That is Maya, illusion. The ribbon is, we have been tied with a ribbon. If the ribbons, suppose we give up ribbons, we throw away the ribbons, still I tied my garment about it. When we ribbon, then the garment is there, no? What we are wearing, that is there in the on the body. When I gave up tying my garment, next when I try to remove my garments, clothes and throw away, still I covered my body in its fold. Even then, the body is covered, isn't it, with the skin? So that is the thing. Next is coming to reality. That is, so when I give up passion means that is lust. Lust to attain certain things in this world. So that lust, that passion, still, so when I give up passion, see there are, you please, again, so I told you several times from our Shastras that Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya, that is those are the tendencies we possess. Okay. Here he is telling that same thing. So when I give up passion, Krodha, that is Kama, passion, I see that anger remains. When I suppress this Kama, this lust, then the anger is increased. You see, wonderful thing. Suppression, we don't escape. Our anger is increased. So, and when I renounce anger, again I renounce anger, I suppress anger, I throw away the anger from me. Suppression. It only can be suppressed. Then, what happens? When I renounce anger, greed is with me still. When I renounce anger, when I renounce passion, when I renounce anger, that the greed is there. That will pop up. Okay, greediness. Greediness means even though we are not deserved, we want everything. Though we are not deserving. So that is greediness in this world. Next one. And when greed is vanquished, suppose I vanquish it, I subside that greediness also. Pride and vain glory remain. If I suppress that also, that greediness, then the pride increases, arrogance, the horns will come on the head. So we think, we are like Hitler was thinking that he is the dictator of the world. That is only an arrogance and it is not a success. So by wicked means, he has become the dictator. So also, when we, that is, suppress, vanquish the greed, then pride and vain glory. Some the wicked people, they expect vain glory. So pride, the rich people or the knowledgeable people, they will have pride. I am possessing all these things. So these things will increase. So when the mind is detached, so finally This is the indriyas, senses, sensorial perception, it comes. That is our tendencies, all these Harishad Vargas. And the mind is what is called monitoring all these things. So the mind, when the mind is detached, so because of the attachment of the mind, all these things is cropping up in us. So he says, when the mind is detached and casts Maya away, still it clings to the letter. So when the Maya, when the mind is detached from the object and lives of this world, whatever matter, still, still, there is the letter. That is, just by renouncing this world, people think that by renouncing this world or developing detachment for this world and running to the Himalayas, they may be, they may do meditation, yoga, and everything, and they may get liberation or realization. But that won't work in every each and every case, because the thoughts and attachment for this world, it is there. Whatever you try to detach yourself from this Maya or cast away this Maya, still subtlest attachments, subtlest thoughts, in a subtle way you will be attached to them, and it will be haunting. Wherever you go, the thoughts will be haunting, and you cannot renounce this, neither the world, nor you cannot detach from this world forever. Only non-attachment. That is what Babuji says. We have to develop non-attachment. Attached, but yet we are not attached to the objects or persons. So that non-attachment is permanent. This detachment and this, what is called cast away the Maya, these are all only temporal. Again, desires will come, and the person, again, he will start attaching more and more to the material things. So, finally, when the mind is detached and casts Maya away, still it clings to the letter. Kabir says, listen to me, dear Sadhu, the true path is rarely found. You understand? O Sadhu, the real path is rarely it is found. That is what he says. So to get a real path, our you take our mission, method, and master. Here we are getting real path. So that is the thing. Now I would like to read the master's message. Yeah, I got it. So I will start reading Master's Babuji's message, which is most important thing, and it has its own subtlest meaning, which most of the human beings ignore. So therefore, let me read this and then enlighten you. Let us get enlightened by it. Okay. Now, the topic is Fakir's wealth. The Fakir means beggar. What is the wealth of a beggar? Only nothing. Nothingness. There is nothing. The beggar will have nothing. That is his wealth. Let us see what Babuji Maharaj is telling. What wealth does a saint possess who is outwardly no better than a beggar in respect of his material possessions? So the real saint is Because outwardly he may be possessing certain things, objects, and certain things. But actually, when we observe him, he will be a beggar. You say, how do you say a saint is a beggar? That is a question. Lalaji says, the answer is given by Lalaji Maharaj. Long ago, I have studied. Lalaji told, a saint will have three qualities. Number one, he is poverty stricken. What does it mean? He is pauper, he is bankrupt, he is a beggar. That is number one, first quality. Second quality is he is always ill stricken. He is always ill stricken. One or the other diseases he will be getting. For example, great Swami Vivekananda ji, he has left his mortal frame at the age of 39 with 31 diseases: asthma, sugar, diabetes, and so many 31 diseases. How can such a great personality like Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda ji, how can he possess so much of diseases? Even an ordinary man, common man will not have that much. So that is the quality of a saint. And the third one is fault finder. A saint will find fault with others. So these are the qualities. That's why a saint is a fakir. Even Lalaji Maharaj himself says in his autobiography of a Sufi that he writes, finally Ramchandra, that he is the author, Ramchandra, down the fakir. Even Babuji Maharaj, take. He himself says, I am the servant of humanity. I am not the master. Rather, I am a what is called scavenger of humanity. So he calls himself. He says, Babuji says at one stage when he was practicing this yoga, Raja Yoga, under the guidance of Lalaji Maharaj kept him in such a critical situation that Babuji Maharaj was ready to eat whatever the dog has left. You see, such a great personality has to undergo such a lowest type of agony, lowest type of condition he has to undergo. So the saints are all, you take whoever may be, they will be like a beggar. They will not expose. These pseudo saints are there. Fake saints are there. They only appear very brightly, magnificently. They will have lot of riches, wealth, and they will demand service from their followers. So then we can find out the difference between a real saint and that of a fake saint. So therefore, here Babuji is telling this position. Okay, what wealth does a saint possess who is outwardly no better than a beggar in respect of his material possessions? A beggar he is indeed. One who begs only, he is a beggar. Saint means a man, the devotee who approaches Babuji Maharaj, the divine master, he is a beggar. He cannot possess anything. Okay? A beggar he is indeed, but one who begs only at the door of the great divine master alone. Such a spiritual beggar, my dear friends, he is not material beggar. No. He is a spiritual beggar. He will approach only the divine master alone. He will not approach each and everyone in the world, whatever may be their condition. But he will never, only his master. that master, divine master only, he will approach for begging. What? Let us read. So he stands at his door, the beggar stands at his door with his begging bowl in hand, but he is unconscious of what he is begging for. The beggar with a begging bowl, he will go to the master. So master will give something that he can fill his bowl. So with the thought of that, he will go to the master. But what will happen there? After going near to him, he stands at his door with a begging bowl in hand, but he is unconscious. He will become unconscious in the presence of the divine master of what he is begging for. So he doesn't know. What is that? With a bowl he will stand, but he doesn't know what for. He is begging. That also he will forget. Such a type of beggar is he. That spiritual beggar is a beggar with a begging bowl, not knowing what to ask. You see, with a begging bowl, not knowing what to ask, and the grace of the master will be filled. The bowl will be filled with the grace of the master, the beggar's bowl. That is heart. So, you understand my point? Here, why this saint or the beggar, he completely forgets in the presence of the divine master. Just he is beholding the presence of the divine master. Why he is forgetting everything? He becomes unconscious. He lost in the master itself. He forgets the entire world, and the entire world will become extinct to him because he forgets himself. He is unconscious and he lost in the divine master. Then who is begging the master? Nobody. Swami Vivekananda, first when he met means Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you see, can you solve my material problems, my material poverty, my material misery? Can you solve? Then Ramakrishna says, yes, my dear boy, but you do one thing. You go yourself inside because he is the priest in a Kali temple. He says, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, you go inside the temple. There, Kali idol will be there, statue. So you stand and call Gadi, call the Kali. She will come. Definitely she will come. When she comes, then you put forth you pour all your problems, material problems, and then she will solve it. That is what Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told Vivekananda. Without a second thought, Vivekananda went inside straight, stood in front of the statue of Kali, and then prayed, "Oh Mata, oh great mother, appear before me. I have something. I want your favor." Immediately Kali appeared in her brilliant form. She appeared. After seeing that sight of that Kali, Vivekananda forgotten himself. He has lost himself in her glorious form. He has completely dissolved in her. And afterwards, she disappeared. And then he turned back to Sri Ramakrishna. Then Sri Ramakrishna questioned, my dear friend, have you seen Kali? Have you had the darshan of Kali? Yes, I had the darshan of Kali. Okay, very good. But what about your problems? Material problems you have, isn't it? That have you asked her to solve those problems? Then Vivekananda, Arey, what is this? Master, Swamiji, I could not ask my problems in her presence. I have completely unconscious. I have lost in her totally, and I have forgotten my problems. What to do? Then Ramakrishna said, nothing has lost. Again, you go two to three times. Again, you try to ask Kali. Don't forget. So Vivekananda went twice, and Vivekananda went thrice, three times. Even then, he could not tell his problem to the Kali Mata, the mother of Kali. So he came back and told Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Sir, it is impossible for me to tell her about my material problems. No, no, please leave me. Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told, when you cannot ask your problems to her, then how can I go and ask? So that is the condition. When a beggar comes, the saint comes before the master, how can he ask anything? Give me alms. I am feeling hungry. Man, I am suffering out of my poverty, struggle, and so many things I am facing. I am unable to face in this world. Please solve all my problems. How can he ask the master when he is seeing the original form of master, that of God himself? How can this beggar ask? So he could not ask. You understand now the logic? Now, when we go to such people, we forget everything. When you go to the God, people are running after temples, all the religions, their own respective temples, to solve their material problems. And is standing before the statue or the walls or anything else, whatever you call their gods and goddesses. They pray very, very severely. Oh God, oh Lord. Otherwise, oh Mata. Like that, they pray the idol, what they have created, their gods and goddesses, they made themselves, but they don't speak anything. Those idols will not speak anything, but they came out. But that is not the case with this beggar. He is not approaching the master, divine master, for his material purpose. He is approaching the master for his spiritual purpose. So therefore, he stands at his door with his begging bowl in hand, and but he is unconscious of what he is begging for. That is one thing. He is totally unconscious. He doesn't know why he has come to the feet of the holy feet of the master. Such a type of beggar is he. He is such a type of beggar. He is not ordinary beggar. Let us ponder over the state of mind he is. So let us just examine what is the condition of his mind at that moment when he is standing before the great master. So what is his condition? Let us study. He has approached the master with the object of begging for his bounties. In the beginning, he approaches the master. He has approached the master with the object of begging for his bounties. So something bounties, say some boons or some gifts. So from the master, this beggar started his journey to the holy feet of the great master for some bounties, to the begging bound. That is the beginning stage of him. Then what happened next? Let us see. So what happened? But he is, that is the thing. He has approached the master with the object of begging for his bounties. But he is so much lost that he does not even remember that he has approached him for having his bowl filled. So that is there already. He has gone with the first, he has gone for bounties, to get bounties, alms from the great master. But no sooner he approached, no sooner he went near the holy feet of the divine master, than he has forgotten everything. What for he has come, why he has come, to whom he has come. He has completely forgotten in the in the means by lasting himself in the divine master. That sight, divine sight, has changed him completely, made him forget everything, including himself. So now the bubble. So much lost that he does not even remember that he is approached him. He has approached him for having his bowel filled. The bowel is presented forth without a word of begging. Okay. So much so that he is not even aware of whom he stands before. Okay. So much he is lost. He has to have madly rushed in. Madly he went to the holy feet of the master, where even the last spark to illumine the grandeur of the place is extinct. So when he reached the holy feet of the master, everything around him, everything is extincted. That's all. Nothing is there except he is seeing the glory of the master and master alone. And nothing, everything is extinct from his view. The hands holding the bowel are alone held up, so much lost he is he. What is there with him? Only the bowel, begging bowel. He is standing like a statue in front of the master, staring at or beholding the beautiful, the what is called brilliant presence of the great master. Do you think such a beggar can be enriched with the great master's greatest bounties? So that is Babuji is telling, when that beggar, you see, in that state, forgetful state, will he expect any bounties from the master? Bounties are also nothing, penniless to such a beggar, spiritual beggar. Everything is nothing in front of the great master. So, master keep anything. So, can such a master, such a great master, keep anything in reserve from such a true beggar? So, can the great master will keep anything reserved for such a true beggar to give him something? They say, give him million rupees, and say, "Arey, you can go." Means a beggar will go? He will not go for anything and everything. He wants only the divine master. He wants to be in divine master. He wants to merge in the divine master for any cost. Nothing else. Nothing else he requires. Such a true beggar. That's what Babuji is telling. Then, see, definitely not. What shall be the situation? Let us study his situation. What is his situation? That is, if the master offers him anything, he is not even aware of what he gets, nor is he even conscious of his changed position now. So, master may give, divine master. He has come with a thought, no, with a desire to get something from the master. Master may give that to him, but he is aware of that. And he is unconscious of his own existence, let alone what is remembering, let alone knowing what the great master has given to him. So he is in such a state of mergence in the master. Then, if the master offers him anything, he is not even aware of what he gets, nor is he even conscious. Is he even conscious? Is he even conscious of his changed position now? See, his changed position itself is changed. He has transformed. First, he came with what is called to ask some bounties from the master, some boon or gift, anything else. But when he came to the holy feet of the master, he has forgotten, even though master gave him, he doesn't know anything about that. Neither, nor master offered him even aware of what he gets, nor is he even conscious of his changed position. So he is completely changed. He is not the earlier beggar. He has changed, transformed into, that is, he has lost the divine master, and he has lost his self. His self is dissolved in the master. Where is the question? So he is changed completely. He is not the earlier beggar with a desire, but he is completely changed, transformed by the sight of the great master. Now, now he is not even aware of what he gets, nor is he even conscious of his changed position now. Both the beggar and the master are there. Okay, both are there. The only distinction which exists between them is that the beggar has the bowel in his hand. That's all. Both master and beggar are there. But what is the difference between them? Distinction between them. Master is master. That's all. And this beggar is with a begging bowel, not even his self, not even his heart. You understand? Only standing the body with a begging bowel. That's all. But he has completely resigned himself to the will of the master. Next, even then. The only distinction which exists between them is that the beggar has the bowel in hand. He maintained this position of his till the end. That's all. There is no end for his standing with a begging bowel. That no end for it, for his begging from the master. What would then? He maintains this position, okay, till the end. Both are lost, the master and the beggar. Again, another wonder is not only the beggar lost himself in the master, and the master also lost himself in the beggar. Both have become one. Oneness is there. There is no duality. When there is duality, then the question of separation comes, isn't it? Lover and the beloved. There is a separation. There is a pain in the heart. Lover. Oh, then I am going to merge, become one with my beloved. So the beggar have nothing. No pain, no love, no devotion, nothing. He just merged in the master. Therefore, he has become one with the master. There is no duality, there is oneness. Now you understand oneness? Oneness is that. Therefore, nothing remains which has not reached unto him. Unto him. What would be the condition of the beggar? Again, what would be the condition of the beggar? That is, he shall be permanently residing in a state of contentment, which cannot be matched even by the greatest riches of a king. This is what Babuji is bringing, the reality, bringing the fact. And he is telling that the condition of that spiritual beggar, that beggar is that he is completely contented, satisfied. There is no question of discontentment or dissatisfaction in him. He is fully contented with what the master gives him. That's all. There is no second thought. Whatever he gives, the master, Babuji Maharaj, that he is contented totally. This contentment, even the greatest riches, possessing greatest riches of the kings, are the super rich people are there in this world. Will they get contentment? No. They will not get contentment, because when they are dying, they will pray God, oh God, please give me all my bounties, all my treasure, whatever I have accumulated during the next life. Like that. Even the richest people in the world, they are not the ones that contented people. They are not content. They don't have contentment. So here, he is a beggar, possessing nothing. What is there with him to give to the great master, except he is himself with a begging bowel? And such a man, you see, Babuji says, he is completely contented. Contentment is there with him. So he maintains this position. The only distinction which exists between them is that beggar has the bowel in hand. He maintains this position of his till the end. Both are lost, the master and the beggar. Nothing remains which has not reached unto him. What would be the condition of the beggar? He shall be permanently residing in a state of contentment which cannot be matched even by the greatest riches of a king. Even that king is not that. There is a story for that. Let me, time is not there. Let me finish this. So even the great, rich, wealthiest people are also not equal to him because he has, even though he is a beggar, he has the contentment. But even though a super rich people, kings and monarchs, they are not, they have everything they want, but they lack contentment, satisfaction. So Babuji says, what would then be the condition of the beggar? He shall be permanently residing in a state of contentment which cannot be matched even by the greatest riches of a king. The master has bestowed what he had. Master has bestowed. What do you want? Take everything. The entire universe, entire manifestation, creation is yours. So such is the heart of the master. Benevolent. He is benevolent. Master is ready to give anything. He had given whatever the desire what he had. But so he had bestowed what he had, and the beggar got the same. He received it. Before which the greatest of kings and saints of high rank would bow down. See what he is studying. Wonderful thing, Babuji Maharaj. Even I have not read in Vedas. Really, I'm telling you. I read so many Shastras. This Dashopanishad, Kainopanishad. I have read so many Puranas. And then I have read pieces of these things in Vedas, Quran, Bible. But this thing, this sentence, I have not read anywhere except here through Babuji's mind. What Babuji says, he says, contentment which cannot be matched even by the greatest riches of a king. The master has bestowed what he had, and the beggar got the same. So he wants what he wants. The master himself, and he has given. The master has given himself to him. What after all? Any material treasure. What is that? That is transitory. Not that, but he wants the God himself, not the creation of God. So, what happened here? Beggar got the same. Before which the greatest of kings and saints of high rank would bow down. So, in front of that beggar, even the high rank religious saints and richest kings, monarchs, everybody should come and bow down before him at his feet. He's a beggar. So anybody will carry a beggar? Nobody will carry a beggar in this world. They may sympathize and throw some coin, or morsel of food they may give. But will anybody bow down before a beggar? Nobody will bow down. But here, this beggar is not an ordinary beggar. He is the spiritual beggar. So, such a beggar, in front of the beggar, even the kings, super rich people, are the saints of the religious saints. Oh, everybody should come and bow down before him. That is what Babuji is telling. That is, everybody should become like that. He is telling to the humanity, not only to Abhyasis, but the humanity he is telling. Now the master has bestowed what he had, and the beggar got the same. Before which the greatest of kings and saints of high rank would bow down. But one has to become such a big beggar. See, you have to become, Babuji is telling to us, all of us, Abhyasis, and the aspirants of the world, each and every human being, he is telling, you should become like this beggar. Don't come before me and beg a penny. Or so many material problems. Don't beg all those things. That is what he says. Begging. Prayer is begging. Meditation is having. You try to attain me through yogic practice and become like a beggar. like this beggar. That is what Babuji wants. So, is it so easy? We cannot. We cannot give one penny to a beggar in this material world. How can we give all the possessions which we have? Will we give it? No, nothing. No? We won't give anything. So he says you should become like a beggar. To him, everything is not in comparison to it. This beggar, no? He's nothing is equal to the great master, the God himself. What is there? What God wants? What can we give to God? You come and tell me. Since God has everything belongs to him only, all this creation, then what we can give in return? The love he shows. Can we give anything in return as a token of love? Nothing we can give. So here Babuji is telling, become such a beggar. To him, everything is not in comparison to it. It will be easy to understand it if one takes his heart on the bowel. This one is a wonderful thing. What he says, the begging bowel, what he has, this beggar. The begging bowel is your own heart. That is your heart, yaar. You give me your heart as the fittest offering to the beloved master. That's all. You give your heart to me. Somebody asked Babuji, what do you want? I want yourself. Can you give? No, I cannot. So, you see, Babuji Maharaj, he is a divine comedy, and he will be doing so many instances are there. So, the bowel, he is having the bowel means the bowel is heart, not ordinary bowel in the material sense. It is the bowel of heart. If we can give the bowel of heart, ourself, to the great master, our purpose of, our problem of life is over, and we will merge in him once for all. That is the thing. But here I would like to tell 1 or 2 minutes about the beggar and the rich people. See what I thought myself. You see, in this world, according to me, I studied the people in the world. And finally, I came to a understanding that everybody is rich in this world. Nobody is poor. No, nobody. Every human being is a rich fellow. I can say super rich, certain people. How do you say? You see, the atheist, take for example, directly we will go to atheist. Why they become atheist? He would have been theist and he has changed into atheist. What for? He is rational thinking, reasonable thinking he is using his mind. So what he says, when God, the creator, has created this creation, he has created us also, human beings also. When that is the case, why he is not, why he is partial? He has created some rich fellow and he has created some poor fellows, poor human being. Why should you do like that? Any mother will do like that. So God is also mother of all human beings. We are all children. Why he has making difference between a rich fellow and poor fellow? Somebody ugly and somebody beautiful. Somebody good and somebody is bad. Somebody is fools. Somebody is intelligent. Somebody is unlettered. Somebody is highly literate, knowledgeable and learned. So why God has created poor, the rich, super rich, and the poor people? Why? This is a $1,000,000 question. But we have to study deep. Means we can say, people, certain, what is called religious, that lore, the rishis, that they will give a definition. Babuji said that God has no mind. no senses, no body, nama rupa lakshanalu, nothing, name, form, attributes, nothing he has. He is the love form. Whoever a policeman goes and asks, oh God, I want to catch a lot of thieves, he will grant, okay. A thief will go and pray God, oh God, I want to loot a lot of banks. That also he will. So God has no mind. If he has a mind, if he is also have a mind, then he will solve all the problems of human beings. He will keep every human being to undergo, to enjoy equal rights, equality, fraternity he will make in this world. Since God has no mind, what he can do? That is one thing. One logic. Okay. That is again there is one reason is also there that everybody coolly forgets. Only they see the in this dual world only duality, diversity, multiplicity, only differences. But they have forgotten one thing, common thing in every human being, that is ego. Come and tell me who is not having ego. Yeah, that person is a poor man. Super ego they have. Rich man will have ego. Poor man also will have ego. What is this? Ugly fellow also will have ego. Beautiful women also will have ego. Why not? Every human being has the ego and the 5 circles of Maya. 11 circles of ego. 16 circles of sanskaras that every one possess. Then who is the richest man? Really wealthiest man? That man who doesn't have any samskaras. He is the richest man. Because he will not be attacked by misery, suffering, pain, pleasure, or this temporary pleasure or disease. Nothing will attack him. So that has to be understood. We are all rich people. We have so many qualities are there. What are Arishad Vargas? We have Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madamascharya. We have accumulated it. And in the mind we have got lot of things. That is speculation. That is so many desires. And then illusion, delusion, hallucination, and doubts, confusions. We have attachment with so many things, objects, our own relations. You tell me now, we possess all these things. Whether it is necessary or unnecessary, I don't want to speak on it. But I am asking you, don't you possess all these things? When you possess all these things, are you not rich? At least rich in possessing. Possession only makes rich, no? Rich man will have money. Poor man will not have money. He possesses money, he doesn't possess money. That's all. If money, rich man, the poor man becomes a rich man, then what is his condition? He will be happy. He will get liberation. That is utter foolishness. Even super rich man or a philanthropist, he let him give everything from even a penny if he doesn't keep and then share to each and everyone, even then also he will not get liberation. Then how to get liberation? Only through dhyana. That is what Babuji says. If you do charity also, don't feel very much yourself very much high because you are doing duty to your brothers and sisters. Charity is only a duty. It is not a feather on the cap. It will not give you anything. It will not make you progress even inch in spirituality. You have to do yoga, dhyana, meditation, constant remembrance. You have to practice, yogic practice as taught by the divine master. Only then you will progress and you can get rid from this bondage of life, death, and rebirth. Okay, you understand? That is only the then by doing this dhyana, With the grace, by the grace of the master, he will slowly will lose whatever property, the negative property, whatever we have collected all this treasure, material treasure, that will go one by one, one by one. Finally, we will become that of a that beggar, spiritual beggar, and will also be leading a contented life. Whatever he gives, that we will take, and there is no second thought at all, let alone questioning, doubting, nothing will be there. So we have to go to that level of beggar. So that is the stage of a saint. That's all. Thank you very much. I have taken a lot of time today. I wanted to study this and make you all get enriched and enlightened by this master's message. And I hope that you will think deeply and then take it in a right sense and put it in the practice. And we'll all, let us all reach his holy feet and let us all become one with him. So that we sincerely pray the great master. Have a divine day. Om Shanti.